Okay, so my name's Alan. I come from London. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Julia. I'm from Korea.
Okay, nice to meet you, Julia. Are you interested in pets?
Yes, I have a pet, but today I'm actually calling to ask some question about some expression.
Sure.
First expression is ball buster. Ball buster.
Ball buster. Okay. Busting my balls. It's kind of like it's more of an Americanism than anything. It means someone that's very hard on you. You know, you have to. You know, they're really. You must do it. You've got. You know, so someone who's busting your balls is someone who's making you try very hard and pushing you when you might not want to be pushed. Yeah, using force, some kind of force or some kind of using some effort to make you do something harder than you might want to actually do it.
So regardless of our willingness, we have to do it in a really difficult way.
Yeah, you might not want to do something and somebody's forcing you to do it by busting your balls. But it is more American than anything else. They don't really use it in England. Don't really use it in Australia or England. Let me have a look at this. Okay, ball busting. I get the American definition for you here.
They're similar to demand.
A very demanding, someone who's very demanding and wants you to do something, wants you to pay, give them money or not to go out with your friends or something like that. Why do you ask about this particular? Why do you ask about this particular one?
Because I'm reading this book, but sometimes I'm very curious about the expression, whether it is used in America only.
A lot of American phrases come from very old English as well. But also there's a lot of Americanisms and American idioms that have come into the English language just from TV, TV and movies. Like I only know the phrase ball busting and busting my balls from like movies like Goodfellas. I remember they used it in that movie Goodfellas. They're always saying it in there. You're busting my balls, like proper English words, which are all the same for demanding. Yeah, it's 100% American. What's another term is there another term you're looking for?
I also found cakewalk.
Cakewalk.
Yeah, it's also an expression which is really easy. A piece of cake. I think
a piece of cake is very easy.
So when someone is expressing very easy things, they can say it's a piece of cake.
Exactly.
Cakewalk. Have you ever heard about that?
Yeah, it's like a one-sided. Let me type it out for you. Cakewalk. It's like a one-sided contest. Something that's very easy as well.
I got it.
Yeah,
because I'm listening to a lot of BBC News and Australian content. It's really difficult to understand American idioms.
Yeah, they've got lots of them. They've got a lot of them. And some of them don't make any sense because they only pertain to American animals that live in America, or competition like sports that are only in America.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering if American understand storming a teacup or hair of the dog. I think it's so British expressions.
Yeah, they do. They do. There's been a lot of exchange. When I went to America, like in the 80s, the first time in the 80s, they wouldn't have understood anything English then. It was all they were.
American.
In America, going to America in the 1980s, they were very isolated, and they didn't like most of their TV shows would have actually originally been English, but then they remake them as American. They change all the cast, they rewrite the script, and they put Americanisms in it. But about 50% of American TV shows are actually remakes of English TV shows. Yeah, I actually lived in America. I was actually married to an American woman back in the 90s. Yeah, and I watched it change from where like English was like very unpopular and kind of rejected by the average American. So actually they started thinking it's cool, and now they use a lot of English idioms in the American vernacular that they never used to use in the 80s. Through the 90s and the 2000s, it became more and more popular, and now they use English slang. in American movies and American TV shows now. I hear it. I'm like, wow, that would never have been said 15, 20 years ago. You know, so it's all kind of blurring.
Yeah. It's very confusing because when I use that expression, storming the teacup, I feel like you can understand that expression. So sometimes, but we can change it, storming the teapot like this. So I think the expression using tea from British.
Yeah, more.
But
more so.
Depends on.
Yeah, if it's to do with it's a cup, not my cup of tea. Something like that might be, yeah. But a storm in a teacup. I've heard Americans use them. Yeah, my cup of tea is a very English saying that they don't use in America. But I've heard Americans say that. Especially East Coast, like Northeast Coast Americans, like New England and that area. From Virginia, I'd say from Virginia upwards, they're kind of more pro-English. They consider themselves to be Anglo-Saxons and more of a English colony, you know, whereas the West Coast...
Very complicated. Yeah. I think it's really complicated to understand the whole history, whole stories about the English, but it's so interesting.
It is quite interesting. And I mean, I quite like it as well. I mean, I spent, like I said, I lived in America. I was surprised how English... some of the when you get out of the cities and into the...
I'm sorry. I think I've got to go. I've got to go.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was really nice talking to you, and I hope to see you again.
Okay, that was really nice to meet you. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Bye-bye.